I should say, by the way, ZMorph is editor's choice, which means that they were chosen from Eureka Park. I think they found out about 1 hour ago that they're going to present, and they put a presentation together in that time. So I think we're going to, be a little bit generous to them. Obviously, we want to see that there's a real product and real business, but the presentation, I'm sure will be awesome. But put it together last minute. Looks like you are ready to go. So presenting for ZMorph is founder and CEO Shamik Jawowski.
Thank you. Thank you for the wild card, by the way. And the story of ZMorph started in about 2010 when I was an architect working for architectural office in London. I had a lot to deal with various digital fabrication techniques for making prototypes of facades of the buildings, roofs, constructions. And then I realized that there is a serious problem with this, because I had to deal with all of these techniques, and every machine that I had to use for this was different. So each workflow was different. I had to learn different softwares and so on. That's when I realized that there is a need for a desktop fabrication machine like this, the machine that can enable many functions and make them work with one platform like this. That would apply for CNC milling, laser cutting, and multi-material 3D printing. That's how ZMorph was born. And the solution that we are presenting consists of many toolheads. So basically, the machine can be reconfigured. The basic functions are 3D printing, of course. But again, this is not a 3D printer. It's a machine that can be configured as 3D printer. It can also be configured as CNC milling, CNC mill, and laser cutter. It's highly modular, so I'm going to show you this. All the accessories can just come off like this. So I'm going to do a small demo now. The machine currently is configured for two-material 3D printing. I'm going to take off the table. That just takes a few seconds. So this is a heated table for ABS printing. And I'm also going to take off the tool head, which is an extruder. You can take two materials in there. And here we go. CNC milling table just slides in here. And CNC spindle just slides in here as well. Here we go. So this is now configured for CNC milling. That also, modularity goes slightly further than that. I can actually reconfigure the enclosure. So basically, that's the way it works. Also in other cases, we also have a laser toolhead here. I can do the same. So I switch it, I unplug it. Again, and it uses the same table. So here now it's configured for laser etching. Basically, that's the point about this machine. Instead of having a lot of machines, instead of learning all of these, all comes in one package. Moreover, that comes with a dedicated software package called Voxelizer, and here comes a special treat. Our software enables to use this extruder, which is not a very complicated thing. It just combines two materials together. It can mix them as well, and it enables image mapping. As far as I know, there's no other software and hardware solution that enables that with FDM technology. What it does, basically, we can see samples here. These are FDM printed models that were image mapped. And by image mapping, I say, this is a JPEG. This is basically a JPEG that is just mapped onto a physical object. The software that does it has been made in-house by us. It's been programmed in C++ and OpenGL. And the next treat that we're working on for next year is multicolor printing. And believe it or not, but this is mostly a software thing. Actually, hardware is not that difficult to work out. So that's coming. And the other thing I want to say is that this platform allows further upgrades. So imagine you're buying a platform like this, you put it on your desk, and it's not that you're limited to all the choices that we have currently available, but in half a year from now, there will be more toolheads. And actually, we have at least 3 toolheads planned to launch for next year. So yeah, that's what it is. And when it comes to where we got, currently we're selling about 100 machines a month. The last few months were very successful for us. The price of the machine is between $2,500 and $3,500. Depends on configuration, of course, because we can equip it with various toolheads, which also have varying prices. And the target market is product developers, designers, engineers, and also increasingly educators, because there's a lot of universities and fab labs that specifically take advantage of this kind of solution. Again, instead of buying 5 machines for a fab lab, you just get 1 and a few toolheads. So that's pretty much it. Please visit ZMorph3D.com and our stand, which is, as far as I remember, it's 42141. Yeah, and we'll answer more questions if you have any. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Judges, who has anyone like 3D printed stuff? Or you guys like know about this or tried it out?
I don't have a personal 3D printer, no. But
Okay, well, do you have a question anyway?
yeah, I mean, first of all, I just want to say that congratulations, you pulled off a nice presentation for knowing that you're doing this 20 minutes ago. Also, the industrial design is beautiful. It really is. Like, we've seen a lot of 3D printers, and it kind of reminds me of like if Apple were to make a 3D printer like an old Apple Mac when they updated it. It looks cool. I'm curious. Having all the versatility is really awesome, but you're still limited to a pretty small form factor. So, are people who are typically using all these tools, are they okay being kind of constrained to a small area like that?
Yeah, a lot of clients are asking for it. So there's something that we're planning to do about this in 2017. Actually, we already have a prototype that is twice as large. It's planned to come out. So we're just reacting to what we hear from the clients, and it's coming up.
Did you say you're selling 100 of these a month right now?
Yeah, recently. Yeah.
Who are the buyers? What are they doing with them? What's the most common use of what they do?
Sorry,
with them?
can you say
What's
again?
the most common use of what a buyer does with these things?
Well, 3D printing.
I know that. But so I take it home and I 3D print what? What do I do? Why am I buying it?
Is it a kind of company or?
No. What are they doing with it? What are they 3D
Yeah,
printing?
well,
that's not a hard question, right? That's
Well, maybe. What if
question.
I give this question to our sales director? He knows a lot.
That's a good question. Right?
Yeah,
What do they
Tomasz?
do with these things? Why does someone want to buy one? What do they do with them?
So, hi, all of you, I'm Tom. So we have many companies that uses our product for prototyping. So almost every hardware company right now has a 3D printer at home. And I can name Philips, who's using our 3D printers in Europe and is creating prototypes for their future products like shavers. So this is one of many examples. But prototyping is the key to actually bring the real product to the market.
So does it help companies prototype faster and better?
Yes, definitely. And because of our dual material printing solution, we can use also soluble materials. We can print objects with much more complex geometry than standard 3D printers. And
so one thing I will tell you, I asked that same question. I kid you not, to 5 of these guys doing 3D printers, and everybody's looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm just asking, like, what? I think for the general public to know what it is that people use these things for. So you guys maybe already know that, but like, you look at that, and go, that's really cool. But what are people using it for? And prototyping for sure makes sense, right? I'm sure there's, like you said, there's a lot of other ones. But the fact you're selling 100 a month that's outstanding, right? I mean, based on
well, there's a lot of model makers, and as I said before, product developers. So people that have a startup, they want to make a product, and they cannot afford to buy injection molding, the mold that is milled, for example. That is a lot of money. They need to prototype. So that's always been and it will be for the desktop prototyping, it's the biggest group. So product designers, engineers, right? But there's this long tail. I mean, it's hard to explain, but there's so many uses because every 3D printer allows you to tap into so many areas of creativity that it's really hard to quantify. It's basically a long tail of various uses. Model making is one of them.
Prosthetics,
yeah.
look at it, see?
So, how do you deal with cross-contamination? If you have all these things creating all this particulate buildup within this machine, and especially since it's enclosed, how do you get rid of all the particulate matter when you use the CNC mill or the laser? And then how are you also dealing with safety? It doesn't look like this is certified in terms of eye safety, things like that. There's no e-stop on it. Like if you're looking at putting this in semi-production environments, you guys are going to have to address that problem.
So we have basic certificates to sell worldwide, like CE. In terms of safety, we use as many guidelines as possible, manuals as possible, warning stickers as possible.
And
it's always
protective
about
glasses.
the user. It's never about the product. So we make sure that they have all the knowledge they need to actually operate it safely. The learning curve takes a bit of time because we have so many different solutions, and safety is actually the key. So we try to be precautious.
For CNC,
And then
that-
the particulate
that's-
buildup for
is quite
when
important.
you use the CNC machine, then you want to switch to 3D printing, and now you have a whole bunch of wood chips
Yes,
in your
so
3D printer.
because we have exchangeable tables, you can actually switch them quite easily and vacuum the whole interior with a small vacuum cleaner. It takes just a minute of time.
Actually, we have some milled samples
Oh, yeah.
here. Yeah.
I'll just
and then
There's actually-
what's,
give it away for you.
last
So,
question, what's the accuracy?
so this is the accuracy. All of that was made on ZMorph, and this is a bucket made with flexible filament, which is a rubber, and an ABS. This is engraved with ZMorph laser engraver. So this is the full quality of laser engraving. The interior was milled with CNC Pro on ZMorph, and all of that was printed with our 3D printing toolheads. So this is the quality we get, and each of the toolhead actually enables you to get the enough quality to get the final product, not only a prototype.
If yours costs $2,500 to $3,500 for all the components, what would it cost if I bought each piece separately at this scale?
And answer as quickly as you can.
So each toolhead costs around $200, and the most expensive one are like $450.
Awesome. Give it up for ZMorph, our Editor's Choice winner. And the really, really cool looking and slightly scary looking 3D printer on stage. All right, that wraps up the hardware battlefield. Let's give it up one more time for our awesome judges who sat through some very, very different companies. Yeah, judges! All right, guys, follow me backstage and we're going to deliberate.